What if the idea of money blocks itself is holding you back from receiving more wealth and abundance in your life? In this video, I'm going to share with you how I am recoding the idea of money blocks. It is so powerful, and this can shift the way you relate to money forever. And stay tuned, because at the end, I'm going to be guiding a potent energy clearing so you can really anchor this in for yourself. I recently asked my audience to imagine 50k landing in their bank account and then explore the fears that come up when they imagine that scenario. The responses were so honest, so emotional, and so powerful. And what really stood out to me was that so many of you had the exact same concerns. So my instinct was to create a video that addresses each of these top money blocks that come up when you imagine receiving a windfall. But then something really deep shifted within me. It was this. The term money blocks is just not resonating with me anymore. And I started to realize how it is actually quite limiting. It implies rigidity and this kind of dense obstacle that needs to be broken down or kind of pushed out of the way in order for us to start receiving more money, more true wealth, more abundance in our life. And that's just not how I see it. And I don't think that that kind of language is serving us anymore. So I started to ask myself, okay, well, if you don't vibe with this language of money blocks, what do you want to call it instead? And then this image came through to me, and it was money beads, like beads on a necklace. And my energy in that moment when this visual came shifted so profoundly. I felt the lightness. I felt this reframe in the cells of my body. And the idea was like, each of us carries one of these money necklaces with us that contains the stories that we've carried along the way. And we pick up these beads. Maybe they're gifted to us from our family, right? Or from culture or society. Maybe we string them on ourselves at times without even knowing it. And they are like little carriers of the memories we have, of the lived experiences of money that shape our reality. These aren't dense, heavy blocks. These are pockets of energy that we can actually hold in our hands, right? We can turn them around like turning mala beads around. We can start to inspect these with so much more grace and delicacy. We can actually feel their texture, we can notice their weight, and we can actually choose if and when we are ready to just gently start unstringing these money beads. And of course, a necklace, it's not linear, right? It's in a loop, it's in an endless cycle. So this is reminding us that we are in a recursive process. Sometimes these beliefs, these energies, these imprints that you have around finances and money and abundance and wealth, they may well loop back around. They kind of come up at different times. And people sometimes are so frustrated by this recursive feeling. Why is it coming up over and over again? But it's okay. This is a cyclical process. But when you start to think of these things as little money beads, not massive money blocks, you realize that you just get to turn the beads around in your hand and gently unstring them. You might have to do it several times, but it's okay. Because really and truly on this channel, We are dealing with money energy with so much compassion and curiosity. This isn't about pushing away the things that we think are wrong with us. What we resist persists. So the more we can shift our imagery, shift the metaphors we're using, and move towards language that's actually vibrating on a more harmonious level, is the more we're going to come into a better relationship with true wealth. This is really about awareness-based transformation, not force-based intervention. Okay, and removing a money bead is not about fixing any kind of brokenness. It's actually about returning the symbolic charge of the past into a state of coherence and of harmony. So I am now going to go through some of the most common fears that came up for people when they imagine receiving 50k in their bank account, but we're not going to look at these as money blocks to push away or to break down. Okay, we're going to look at them and feel them as little money beads that we get to explore, to transform, and perhaps, just perhaps, let go of as and when we are ready. So before I get into that, if you are enjoying the video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more content around the energy of true wealth, abundance, and embodied presence in this beautiful life. The first money bead I noticed so many people describing was that this windfall of 50k was not actually going to be enough. I would personally say that £50,000 is objectively a substantial amount of money. And people get very excited initially about the idea of receiving this, but very quickly thoughts start creeping in like, well, that's actually only going to scratch the surface, it'll be gone really quickly, maybe that will just about clear my debt, it's not going to be enough for my home renovation, and things like that. And I can really relate to this. I remember how often I would be initially excited if I'd imagine myself having a lottery win, but so quickly end up feeling really deflated because I'd figure out all of the ways in which the money was likely to be gone very quickly. This is such a human response, and I believe it's anchored in a kind of scarcity consciousness, really, where we tend to think, okay, this is it. This is the one time I'm going to have a windfall. That's the be all and end all, and once it's gone, it's gone. Instead of seeing something like this as a beautiful spike in a longer term, more sustainable, ongoing flow of always being provided for. And the interesting thing is that this is really not about the amount of money itself. You can just have the same kind of experience if it's £1,000 or £10,000 or 50 or 100 or a million, whatever. It's not about the amount. The amount of money doesn't determine how grateful you feel about it or how quickly you think it's going to run out. That is about the underlying consciousness with which you imagine receiving the money. And it really, as I tuned into, okay, what is the antidote to this money bead? I thought, as I so often do, about Ken Honda, the happy millionaire, right? Because he tells this beautiful story about being in a store, and he is a rich man by any kind of standard assessment, right? But he's in a store, and at the checkout, the woman behind the counter hands him a $2 coupon. And he's so excited about the coupon. He starts doing his happy money dance. And it's so cute and funny that he's doing his happy money dance that other people start to get involved, and other people give him their coupons as well. And now he's got more coupons, and now he's doing a bigger dance. And he's so happy and grateful that the gift, grows in size. And at the end, he gives away the coupons. But the point is, he wasn't celebrating receiving them because they were enough to achieve a certain goal in his life. He wasn't looking at the amount. He was just looking at the energy of receiving. and feeling the gratitude and the excitement of something coming in no matter what. And I feel that's the energy that we can tune into if we're feeling like, oh, it's not going to be enough, even if it's huge. And so this particular money bead of it's not going to be enough, I think can loosen up if we do two things. One is to reframe it as, a moment in a bigger flow of always being provided for. And the second one is to decouple our sense of gratitude from the amounts of money that we receive or that we imagine receiving, because gratitude actually is, as Joe Dispenza says, the ultimate state of receivership. The second money bead that I noticed was fear that I'm going to waste the money. I'm going to mismanage it, it's going to be gone, and then I'm going to regret it. So there's a lot around self-trust going on here. And it's, again, totally understandable. I've been there as well. I invested, for example, over 4K in a course a couple of years ago. And I really thought this is the one, right? This is going to catapult me into success and, is going to expand my world and this, that, and the other. And the truth is, I've barely touched that course. And actually, for a while, it felt really awful. I felt like I'd wasted the money. I felt like I'd let myself down. But over time, I realized that actually, I have learned a lot about myself in making that decision. I've learned about what can feel very tempting in the moment and how I can really make deep assessments about what needs to be true for me to really get the most out of the things that I choose to buy. And interestingly, actually, a couple of years later after I initially made the purchase, I've realized that there's some things in that course, which I have lifetime access to, that can, in a very targeted way, help me a great deal now, in this moment. And I wasn't ready for that in the moment when I made the purchase. So I really don't feel a huge amount of regret about it now, because I can see the lessons in it. I can see the value I can extract from it now. And really, I wonder whether anything can be a waste or a mistake if there is a lesson to be extracted from it. Now, I'm not saying just go out and about and take huge risks with your money. I mean, I'm not by any means a financial advisor. I would never tell you what to do with your money, right? But I think there's a certain amount of safety and security that comes with trusting I'm not going to abandon myself, even if I do make a mistake. I do my best not to make mistakes, right? I am choosing to step into integrity and wisdom and, care. But if I mess it up, it's okay. I'm not going to punish myself so much that I'm miserable. So as I was tuning into the antidote to help loosen this particular money bead, I felt like there was the part about promising I'm not going to abandon myself. That's number one. But then the second part is like just imagining taking a little bit of that money and putting it to really, really good use. So for me, I imagine being able to take my parents on a beautiful holiday, or investing in some kind of training or travel that I've been dying to do. And, I think about the ways in which I can spread good, and that really helps me to trust in my own kind of fully integrity-based use of whatever I encounter and receive in my life. The third money bead that I noticed so many of you talking about was that it doesn't feel fair for you to receive so much money when other people have so little. There's a sense of guilt in receiving. Now, the truth is we do live in a very unequal world. Wealth is not distributed evenly throughout this planet. And if you're sensitive to that, it can really contribute towards this sense of guilt. And if you know anything about me or my channel, you'll know that I'm really not standing for any kind of spiritual bypassing. I really believe we get to hold ourselves in so much grace and compassion when we feel these bigger collective inequalities or wounds. So, let yourself in a gentle way recognize what you see as problematic in larger society and bless yourself, bless the situation. Maybe you even kind of tune into the ways in which you can rebalance things at some point in your life. But then once you've done that, you kind of turn within and look at, okay, but why for me does it feel like it's not fair to receive the true wealth and abundance that is actually my birthright? And so much of this, again, comes from culture, society, religion, conditioning that tells us that wanting more is selfish, that it isn't fair, right? But again, there's a way in which we can find an antidote. And I think it's about how you imagine the ripple effect of your wealth flowing out. You place it within a larger context. Like for me, if I imagine having a huge windfall and then I start to fantasize about the ways in which it could help me to grow a beautiful team that I pay so well, and they're so happy to be doing work that they love, and it's making the impact of my business bigger and bigger and bigger, I feel like it is actually creating more inclusion, more fairness, more good in the world. And there are things I could do to really more actively pursue wealth equality if I so chose to, with my increasing abundance, right? That's the choice that we get to make. So again, leaning into the ripple effect that your increasing abundance can have, I feel, is a really good sort of counterpoint to this money bead about it not being fair for you to have something when others don't. Before we get into the energy clearing for today, if you feel like something in what I've said so far lit you up, and if you want to go deeper and explore your own manifestation journey, your abundance blueprint, and your capacity to call in the life that you really want, I do offer one-to-one coaching. And I also have created a shorter, more intensive container in case you want some rapid transformation. So the links are in the description below. If you feel that yes in your body, then I would love to connect. So let's prepare ourselves now for today's energy clearing. Find yourself a comfortable, safe place where you can be undisturbed. Take a moment to settle into your body, into the now. Take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. And exhale, release. Inhaling. And exhaling, relax. And one more like this. Inhale, inflating the belly. And exhaling, letting go. And then just tuning into the natural rhythm of the breath. Resting in the body. And let that breath be a breath of grace, where what is ready to fall away falls away. You may want to bring to mind these beads that you've been holding. We're not forcing them off the string or the necklace. We're just inviting compassion. Allow your awareness to move into the heart center. You may notice some vibration or light, pulsing, glowing. And allow my words to be received in this center, because this is the center that is designed to receive the truth. I ask that whatever money comes to me supports my highest good. I ask that I receive it in a way that is aligned with my soul's true expression. I ask that my relationship with money is a loving one. I ask that I am guided towards wise, generous, and loving uses of money. I ask that the money I receive allows me to bring beauty to all those I come into contact with. I ask to be guided by my inner wisdom and trust myself to make wise choices. I ask for teachers and mentors who will help me elevate my money energy. I choose never to abandon myself, no matter what. And now repeat after me, either out loud or in your mind's eye. I release the belief that whatever I have, it will never be enough. I release the belief that I will waste the money I receive. I release the belief that it is not fair for me to have money. I release the belief that I will always feel guilty if I have money. I release the belief that others will always take money from me. I release the belief that gifts don't belong to me, they are for other people. I release the belief that I am not meant to have resources to support me. I release the belief that I am destined to have a bad relationship with money. I release the belief that gifts always come with strings attached. Take a nice deep breath. Let it all go. And then let the rest of my words again fall over you and be received in the heart. I choose now to follow my heart towards a fulfilling life. I choose now to welcome in true wealth, my relationships, my health, my finances, my path. I choose now to come closer to the part of me who knows I am always provided for. I choose now to trust in my goodness. I choose life. I choose love. I choose peace. I honor the beads I've carried. I thank the lessons they've brought me, and I choose now to let go of what no longer serves. I choose to create my new necklace of beauty, grace, and true wealth. Take another nice deep breath. Exhale. And allow yourself to gently come back to the present moment through the body. You might want to bring some movement in, wiggling the toes and the fingers, rolling the shoulders, perhaps tapping your feet on the ground, rubbing your palms together, thanking yourself for this experience and for your journey. And whenever you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.